Hi all, out here with more space engineers. And today we're trying to keep busy, so yeah. Oh, we've been just keeping up with what's going on around, been doing a little bit of mining, got a few ingots, got some, got some things processing. Got a little bit going on, so we'll talk about all that shortly. First, we have to get started, so let's go. So happy Friday, everybody. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day and a terrific week. Mine has been filled with a little bit of unexpected drama, but hey, for those who are, who are aware of what's going on, you know what's going on. Everyone else, just leave it at, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Alright, so what we are doing, let's turn off the interface so you can see, turn on the light so you can see a little bit better. And we're going to take a look here. So what we did is we went ahead and I wanted to streamline the ship a little bit, mainly because of the aka Flappy Panda winglets just weren't working for me. I was able to get the ship mostly controllable. Basically, I had to restart the game once we had everything said and done. What was going on is, for those who don't know, when you have pistons and or rotors and now hinges on the vehicle, one of the things that you'll see in if you remember when we were doing the test flight of the ship, is that you'll lose rotational controls. Basically, you'll get some really weird drift, and what that is it's because of the way that the tensor functions work. Basically, it's looking at with the pistons and rotors. The heads of those are actually shears points, and so what you'll get is when you're on them, you will sometimes get a little bit of motion in it. And what happens is that all of these different forces apply force to the primary grid. And what you'll see is that with rotors and pistons and things on a single parent grid, is you'll start getting weird rotational forces, and that's generally where it's coming from. So what you want to do is, when you're looking at this stuff, I'll look at the pistons here. All of these devices, like pistons, rotors, and hinges, all have the option to share inertia tensor, and that's what this does. Is instead of it calculating the grids individually and then figuring out how they factor into each other, it treats all of the subgrids as part of the main grid. So as you can see here, it equalizes virtual masses of connected grids to achieve more stable behavior. Fancy way of saying it helps reduce the rotation. Now, if you remember when I was building this thing, I actually turned on that option, right? I clicked that checkbox, and we were still getting rotational. When I restart it, came back in, the rotational was gone. Well, for the most part. I mean, it was definitely noticeably different. I still get it a little bit, especially when the pistons are fully extended, but it's not anything that I can't compensate for manually. Where I was running into problems was in having the hinges there. Is one, it was making this much taller than it is currently, and the other problem is that you still have to control thrust manually. So we were using the vectored thrust mod, which allows you to treat it as though it is just another extension on the ship. So it calculates the force, the vectored force. All right, so it doesn't like having these things be floppy. So what I would had to have done was basically put them in fixed positions anyway. Since I was putting them in fixed positions, I just went ahead and streamlined the vehicle. And that's what we have here. So that's a really long way of saying I gave up. Alright, so no, I didn't give up, but I wanted something that was a little bit more controllable and had a little bit more response to it. And I will show you why over here. So what we did is, with the new vehicle, we can make drilling like this. which is where a good portion of our materials have come from. However, we did go up and mine up there, where the silver and cobalt are. We did more of a vertical mine. It turned into more of a vertical mine. It started out as mostly a horizontal mine. But yeah, so we have been mining. We have gotten quite a bit of resource together. Show you where the iron pit down there. I even pulled out a little bit of ice so that we could get the oxygen. Well, I don't have tanks on the base, but just to get the O2 generator primed up a little bit, taking care of our panda cam in there. And we have basically we have this video in order to secure the base a little bit. If you haven't been paying attention, in the description of the video we have a countdown timer for the last couple of videos, and that is telling you how much time we have before, whatever the next difficulty increase. So the next difficulty increase is going to be meteor storms. So that means we need, our defenses. And for the initial stuff, this is going to be fine. But we do want to have a little bit more security in place for when we get a little further along. I'm not sure how long we're going to spend on the planet, though. Because if we get swarmed, I think what we need to do is we need to build a slightly bigger facility. At least as far as ship production is concerned. Because that way, if we run into a situation where we have to abandon base, I want to have the ability to get the hell away from the base and take as much resource with us as possible and have it be somewhat defendable. So what I'm thinking is we are going to do a bit of a base expansion. Did I bring plates with me? I brought 9 plates. Yeah, that's gonna... Great job, Hal. That's gonna really help us there. But I'm thinking we're gonna basically build from this point out. And this will allow us to put a door in here, which, we'll have the runway. Oh, I forgot. Bob is still turned on, which will give us the ability to run out here into whatever ship it is. And what we're going to do is I'm thinking we're going to build a larger version of the hangar that we have here, maybe a little bit longer and about twice the height. So that way we can build a large grid ship that we'll be able to take with us. And most of what we're going to be doing until the point we have to evacuate is going to be basically working on that. So we're going to be doing some resource gathering off camera, probably building over the course of the next week, because by the end of next week we're going to have our second step up on the asteroids, because we're going to go from minimal to normal to Armageddon. And we will also have our first AI, like hostile AI or planned hostile AI, included on the save. All right, so what I'm going to do is let's grab some plates, and I don't know how many that was. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to 7. Number 8 is going to be where the door is. So we're going to go there. Yeah, like I said, if I sound a little out of it, I apologize. Trying to get stuff done. Let's go. Let's grab 500 of those, and what I'm going to do is 20,000, 34,000. Yes, okay, so it takes about a little over a third of the iron we have available to make plates. And no, I haven't been counting. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Sure, let's go 22, because that'll give us 21 blocks of space. And sure, we'll put some blocks in there. And some block in there. Alright, so if that's how large did we make this? So counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 counting the walls. Alright, and we are going to end up with a double row, because this is where we're going to put our doors. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Should be wide enough. So we're going to go 16, give us a 15 by, what was that, 21 I think is the total space here. And again, this is kind of just preemptive. We are going to want large vehicles, or larger vehicles anyway. And I'm thinking while we're here, we may as well go ahead and get some
energy low.
Some defensible structures in. Gives us that. This is going to come out 1. We're not actually going to put those door blocks in. You know what? Let's go. I was just thinking. Let's do it this way. Because we're going to have to come back and cut those out anyway if we leave it the way we had it. There we go. And then Bob can do his thing. Now the thing that we're going to run into is that this area here is probably going to be mostly blast doors. And I may run a connector down here in the under section. But I'm not sure where yet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because the rest of this is me just placing some basic blocks in here on the floor to give us a platform to work from. I'm going to do a quick cut, get those blocks placed, get some more power going, and what I'll do is we'll get all that, get things started, and then we'll come right back. Okay. Alright, so yeah, we'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so I have kind of made an arbitrary decision to change some of what we're building here. We're going to take this out and this out. And what we're doing is we're going to replace these with regular blocks. And I'll show you why here in a second. You can probably get an idea based off of what we have set up in our quick bar. But I want to have an area back here that we can have some expanded functionality in. Because right now we've got one refinery, one O2 generator, and a couple of small cargo. We ended up adding 3 two small cargo on top of that little area, that little open area we had above the where the panda is sleeping, the panda cam. So let's go ahead and get this going. And I'm going to actually end up coming back and cutting some of these out. Because what I want to do is I want to figure out where we're placing things before I deal with cutting things out of here. Because we're going to put in some conveyor junctions into the floor. And as you can see, we've gone ahead, let me turn the light on, maybe that'll help. We've gone ahead and punched a hole here, tied the conveyor block into the cargo box there, and we basically have it running, so the piping will run down and through, well, down and under, and it'll come up, should come up somewhere in this area. I may have to dogleg that back a bit, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so that basically gives us still a fairly significant amount of space. But it also allows us to have a little bit of room to tie things in. In fact, it is going to come back a little. Okay. So let's go 1, 2, and you are there. And you're going to be so we're going to drop conveyor junction there. I think I may have the parts. I don't remember. Oh, what am I missing? Missing motors, figures. Alright. And then what this will allow us to do is to pipe in another, maybe 1 or 2 refineries over here, and then a bunch of tanks, both oxygen and hydrogen, in order to store some fuel for us to have our ship that will launch out through the front of that door. Well, through the front of what's going to be a hangar. Now, we will be on the roof using the heavy armor blocks, and I'm thinking we may use heavy armor blocks on this wall as well as that wall over there, but we're going to use the regular armor blocks on this wall just to save material. And honestly, if we take incoming fire from that side, the rest of the base is already screwed, so we don't really have a whole lot to worry about. At least that's the idea. So now, what do we have here? We have, and figure out the spacing here really quick. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That would be 21. So yeah, we will take that out. And I am doing that for a reason, because we want this to be basically following what we have over here, where we have, is that 4, 3, 4. We're going to do sort of what we have there. What is that? 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So yes. Okay, so what did we say we have? 21? So if we go 5, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 would be the middle. So if we go 1, 2, 3, yeah, there. Right. 1, 2, 3. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go check to make sure I had that right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I do. Okay. So that's going to be our marker there for spacing. Like I said, I'm basically just trying to keep the same ratio, where we have one that's longer, one that's smaller, and one that's longer. Mainly because of the fact that, well, I'm just silly like that. And we have a long way before Bob gets over here, so we're not going to worry about those right this second. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and basically rebuild. Like I said, we're just going to follow this pattern, where we're going to differ things on this, and it's going to differ probably, I don't want to say significantly, but it's going to be noticeable, is on the roof. What we're going to end up with is, instead of having the one line of turrets, we're going to have probably 5 turrets on it. I don't know. Maybe we'll do just a single line of turrets. We don't really have any weapons mods in the game right now. So maybe. Let's see, did we do half blocks over here? So you are all... Okay, so those are full blocks. Alright. Okay. And then, yeah, like I was saying, with this thing, we're going to pipe in, I don't know, 1 refinery? 2 refineries, maybe? Let's see what we got here. So if we do... How about if we do that? I mean, I'm almost tempted... to actually move this, or to have this thing piped in through the side here. Yeah, there. Don't know how I want to do this. I mean, the easy way is to basically drop this thing here, and then it's piped in. But then we'll lose a little bit of space in here if I move it back 1. Yeah, I guess we could move it back 1. Because the other option is we place this here, which means you are 1 over 1 back. So 1 over 1 back, so right here.
Energy low.
And we would take that out, place it with that. Let's bring you here. And there. Oh, wrong button. Okay. All right. So that gets us piped in. That gets us a new refinery online. I think we're going to do 1 more refinery. And then we will do 1. Okay, let's count this out really quick. So we're going to leave a space here, and this is for any of the conveyor blocks that we need to place in there. 3, so that would be 1 tank, 2 tanks, 3 tanks. We can actually get 3 hydrogen tanks in here, which, if we double or even triple up, it takes us 6 to 9 tanks. And we can have smaller tanks basically draped off the back of this. So if we do that, so that's all there. I'm kind of tempted to do these, to do it like that.
Inventory full.
Can pick up those parts, Bob. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Actually, let's tell Bob to knock it off for a second.
Energy critical.
Here you go. There we go. Of course, I'm going to go in and charge up anyway, so. Let's grab some power really quick. Bob is powered down. He's just kind of hanging out there now. Let's get out here. Let's see which way these look better, because if we do this, right? So if we do that, it's going to be there, and that's going to be there, which I think would look fine if we were building these out that way. Because if we do another stack of them, no, I guess that looks good. I wouldn't do 3 like that, though. Alright, so that's what this would look like here. Let's get all the flashy stuff off our screen. So that's what it would look like with them laid horizontal. So if we were to do that vertical, instead, I think I like that better. It makes more sense in the context. Yeah, I think we're gonna go. I think we'll do that. Because then what we can do. Whoa. Smack my mouse. Alright. Ah, you son of a. And we go to. Alright, just to make sure. Yes, okay. So everything's piped through the refinery to O2 up into the tanks. All the tanks are piped together automatically because they're connected on their connectors. And then what I'm thinking for the back here is that we go tanks. I'll probably add another O2 generator or two. Actually, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's get rid of that tank. I'm just going to grab our generic tank. Grab O2. And what I'm thinking here for the O2 generators is that we do this. And we're going to have the half blocks back here basically forming the wall. This gives us the ability to have multiple generators running simultaneously. Everything's piped in through there, up through the floor, into the into that. Do I want to put Bob in here? No, not yet. I don't want to put Bob on there. Okay. Had to stop and think about that for a second. We'll do this. We'll have you piped in that way. Yeah, we're okay for right now. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, and then what we're going to do on this side is we'll have basically this entire thing will be windows all the way up. And then you are pretty much in the middle. Right. So this will be wall space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Did I really do that 14? No, I couldn't have. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I sure as hell did. That's going to be awkward. Okay. We'll figure it out. It's fine. Alright, so what we're going to, like I said, what we're going to do on this, at this point, is basically just get the rest of these in. Okay, and then we did this. See, auto rotate. It's turned off and it still did it. I guess we'll do that. And you were there. Okay. We're just basically getting the foundation work of this stuff in place. Realistically, I probably won't cut that line out. I will probably keep it in where it is and just use heavy armor blocks on the rest of it. Oh, alright, so I think that's going to do it for us today. What I want to do is I'll go ahead and get the rest of the walls and everything up. You saw me do the first build, and so what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm just going to keep to the same motif that we have that we've already established. Get all of this stuff in and welded up. And when we come back on Monday, all of this should be welded, including the floorboards and everything. We should have, I don't know if we'll have the roof on it or not, but we should have all of the core stuff in, and we'll have the walls on the side, the door over here, you know, the basic stuff in. I'm probably going to have to do some mining to get, I don't know, actually, what do we need for the grids? It's cobalt, right? I think it's cobalt for the grids. Because I may have to go pick up some more cobalt. Nickel and cobalt. Alright, what do we got for both of those? 1.5K, 2K, and it's still processing, so we probably have enough cobalt. If I do... $1,000 grids. Actually, let's do it this way. All blocks. Heavy armor, half armor blocks are 25 till a 1. So I'll probably need about, we'll do nickel. I need 3K. How much nickel did we say we had? Oh, we got 9K nickel. Yeah, no, we're fine. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, we're good. Okay, so what I'll do, I don't have to do any more mine. Well, I will have to do mining to replace some of this stuff. But what we'll do is I'll go ahead and get the rest of the walls and everything laid out off camera. Get all of this stuff welded up. And when we come back next time, the hangar should be mostly done. I don't know if the doors will be in. These are gonna be the last thing I place, because Bob likes to weld those up before he welds everything else. And so I would rather parts go to the things that are here. So yes, as you can tell, I am still a little distracted. I apologize for that. Hopefully you enjoyed it, though. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to throw those down in the section below. Be sure to pay attention to what's going on in the description, because, like I said, we will have countdowns for the various things for, like, when the AI comes in, as well as the changes to the asteroids or meteorites, and those types of challenge changes. Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. If you're new to the channel, you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that subscribe. If you have any questions, as I said, throw them down below. And I'm gonna say I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you back here next time for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Let's close that door, get us charged up. Yes. We got a lot of stuff to get done this week.